Hi, everybody. Welcome to the new normal. I'm your host, Lisa Davis, aka Litecoin Lisa. And sometimes I'm dark Lisa. And I gotta tell you, feeling a little dark today. I'm not sure what's going on in the world, but do know that Johnny Litecoin's here, and we're going to talk about Litecoin. Is Litecoin the right coin? We know we are praying for everybody in Florida. Thankfully, our dear friend Jenny marked herself safe after Hurricane Milton went through. And we've talked to some of our other friends and heard from them, and they are safe. So sending lots of love and prayers to everybody going through that. But we're going to talk about what to do in a crisis and what would you choose to hold in a crisis. Be right back right after this. Give us a like and share the video. Welcome back, Johnny. Good to see you.
Great to see you, Lisa. Great to see everybody.
We missed you at Westwoods. We would have loved to have you there.
Yeah, sounds like you guys had a great time.
We did. Everybody said to send you all their love and hugs and good vibes, all the good things. So
very nice.
Maybe next time. But I know you were busy with a lot of things going on at your place. And then we came back and there was this huge crisis. It started in North Carolina, quickly followed by and Georgia, all the other states, but quickly followed by Milton crossing over Florida.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
Yeah, that's just seems totally normal.
Did you see them scrubbing the Wayback Machine? So I guess people were finding all this old stuff on, I guess NOAA was trying to scrub their own website from all the weather modification history and information that they've had on their site for forever. There's patents and all kinds of stuff. And so people were finding it and posting it and screenshotting and even taking movies of it because then it was disappearing when they went to send it to their friends. They started taking movies of it, trying to document it. And so then they started erasing the Wayback Machine was down. This was a concerted effort to hide the facts from people.
Crazy. I mean, of course they're going to hide it from us,
It's totally insane.
Totally insane. But yeah, it's crazy. But either way, I think we were talking about before the show how what we saw play out as far as the economy goes with North Carolina got hit so bad. So they had no internet for a long time. So people had no access to cash. ATMs didn't work, right?
No.
Nobody accepted credit card. So we kind of talk about this. Hey, we're prepping. You got your silver, your gold, your Bitcoin, your Litecoin. What works in that environment? And truth is, cash works best in that environment. So it is good for that crisis situation.
That's what I heard. I heard that's what they were doing is people were needing cash. And so many people just use a credit card. They've gotten used to swiping their card. That's how, if they wonder, if they have any money, well, they don't know. They check their balance. I had a friend tell me, one of my homeschool moms, we were having lunch. We were there with the kids and she's like, when my husband and I were talking about this, it was right after that Bank of America thing where everybody's accounts blipped out.
Yeah.
And she said, if it blipped out and anybody went to fight it, no one prints their statements anymore or gets paper statements. Everyone submitted to this electronic statement. You would have no way to fight or argue to say that you ever even had anything on your digital ledger at the bank. No. It's just gone. It has been vaporized.
It's vaporized.
There's no way to argue that.
No, there's no way to argue that. So
it's insane.
It's crazy, but yeah. So I guess when it comes down to it, cash works the best in that situation still. It makes sense because that's what people know. But we were also talking, Lisa, that people were bartering.
Yes.
Silver was being used.
Mm-hmm.
And, but how do you convey the message of the value of silver? The silver is good in a situation like that because silver's outpacing the dollar. Silver's keeping up with inflation or whatever, even though the price is suppressed, it's still averaging up or whatever. So, but how do you convey that message? So we were saying it's probably smart to have a printout, have some printouts of the price. So you can kind of show people, hey, an ounce of silver was, on such and such date was trading at this price. An ounce of gold was trading at this. You could even show the Bitcoin price maybe as a reference of just different assets and say, look, I have this, I have this silver right here. Would you guys take that as a barter? And in a situation, look, when push comes to shove, a lot of businesses, especially if they have perishables, they need to sell it or move it. So if nobody has money and they're sitting on a bunch of stuff, if you come in with things of value that they want, they're going to sell their items. So that's what it boils down to.
So that's another thing where like maybe if you're going into, the hurricane's coming, take a minute and print your bank statements and put that with your emergency bug out bag or something, or
I
print
think that's a good idea. You bring up a great point, Lisa. We saw this electronic system. No one has the bank statements printed out.
And go to coin whatever. What would you do? Go to JM Bullion or Miles Franklin or something and print the current price of, like, take a screenshot of
a few of them. I would go to a few of them and just have them printed out. Here was the price on AppMax.
Yeah.
JM Bullion, Miles Franklin, whatever places are shown. Maybe there's like a goldprice.org and it'll show both prices.
Make sure you get a timestamp on your screenshot because I think that'll help people.
I mean, whatever you have to do, even a graph, a chart. Here's the price for the last 5 years. You know what I mean? Whatever you need to have, but I feel like that's important. And I also feel like in that situation, bars are better than coins. A lot of people say, "Oh yeah, I got junk silver."
So explain that to people. Why you kind of unpack that for people, because I think so many of us are, we love gold and silver and all that. And so we kind of like, oh, I would take 64 quarters all day long. What are you talking about? We love junk silver, they call it, but explain, like, if we were in an emergency situation and I'm going to the gas station and whatever their name is working there, it would almost be one more hurdle.
It would be definitely another hurdle, because if you came in there with a quarter, a dime, even a half dollar, they don't even get anymore. So they'd be like, "What's this? We don't take this," right? I mean, they don't see half dollars stores anymore. So they would recognize a quarter or a dime. So if you have a 1964 quarter, they're going to identify that as a quarter. You could say it's real silver, but then how do you explain that to them?
Right.
I think a silver bar says on it 1 ounce of 0.999 fine silver, 5 ounces, 10 ounces, whatever it is. It says the weight, 0.999 fine silver. I feel like for that environment, that's easier to use and convey. So I feel like silver is a good barter, but just keep those things in mind.
Definitely. So after we get done with this, everyone go get on Clint Westwood's Spaces. He's still on. Mark Williams says he's listening to Spaces and watching us at the same time.
Nice. That's a good way to do it.
Good stuff there. I love it.
That's a good way to do it. Yeah. But then when the power comes back on, I guess, Lisa, or the internet comes back on, then you got your Litecoin ready to go. And that's what people don't. As soon as the internet comes back on, your Litecoin will work. And actually, truth be told, Litecoin being peer-to-peer will probably work better in that situation than at least the credit card, because the credit card systems, a lot of times at businesses, It involves a lot of networking and stuff. So it needs that full internet restored before it's working again. It's not like, hey, some patchy internet or they strung up Starlink or something and you can just, no, these systems work different typically. So it's not, it's, you know, in that situation, Litecoin would be a
So
better option.
Litecoin will work on, that's a great point. So I heard that, you know, Elon was sending out these Starlink phones and the whole package thing, like it needs something smaller than a suitcase. And then these phones, Litecoin would work on, it doesn't matter what interwebs or what service or whatever provider, you would still be able to send it would be able to connect to the coin or find that chain.
Well, I think with Starlink, you just connect your regular phone to it.
Okay.
So I think you don't even need another device. So that if the people,
So then, yeah, you
if
just
you have
use
Light Wallet or Trust
wallet.
Wallet or Exodus Wallet or Stack, any Litecoin mobile wallet on your phone, if you could connect the Starlink and have that wallet, you could transact as usual. So I think that would be a better option as well in that situation. But you know, for me, the cool thing is we've talked about it before, but we'll bring it up again. It's always good to repeat things so it kind of stays in everyone's mind. Is if you're holding Litecoin right now and say, do you guys think Litecoin has a better chance to get to $350? Or does silver have a better chance to get to $160? I'd say Litecoin has a way better chance of getting to $350 faster. I think silver obviously will get to 160, but I think Litecoin will get there faster. Only reason being as well, Litecoin's been past $350 twice.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Where silver's only been to 50 US dollars.
Right. Now in Cliff data, it did say that silver would run first.
It could. So either way, that's not a bad thing either. I think it's good to play both assets back and forth. So you can either take Litecoin and buy silver, or if silver runs first, and say silver goes to $600 an ounce, right? And Litecoin's at $100 a coin. You could take 1 ounce of silver and buy 6 Litecoins. So at that point in time, you take 100 ounces of silver, you can get 600 Litecoins. I think that would be a good move. What do you do with your silver? You want to lock in some wealth or whatever.
And yeah.
And
yeah, I think it's definitely a safe move. Interesting. I want to change the subject just a little bit because it is haunting me today. Trump was speaking in Michigan, and he was talking about bringing back Michigan and the auto industry. And he was talking to some young people, and he said, you know, I would stay here because I think we're going to turn this around. You're going to be able to afford a home. This is going to be a great place to build a family. People are going to come in from the East and West Coast to the center of the country. We're going to rebuild America, all this stuff. And then he said, people are telling me, when he was saying about making he was going to, okay, you know, he's been talking about he's been removing all these taxes little by little by little, like no tax on tips, no tax on Social Security, no tax on
overtime. I think he said
overtime. Yes. That was another one. Now he's saying he's going to, I can't remember the word, but basically you can write off your
interest on the
on your car payment. Yes. And he said it's going to cause a boom in the auto industry. And when he says boom, usually that's a calm boom in the auto industry. And he's like, and then they look at me and they say, how do you think of these great ideas? And he said, it's like the paperclip. It's like a paperclip. Like it made some people a lot of money. It's a good idea for some people, but not for everyone. It's a paperclip. He's literally talking about Operation Paperclip, I think.
Interesting.
Because he said it at least 3 times. And, you know, they're talking about he was talking about how it made some people or a small group of people a lot of money. But
it would have. Usually these clandestine operations, there's people profiting big money off of them.
Yeah, and so I think he was leaking that out, and then there was a really weird interview with Biden, um, where he like they say something like, "Are you gonna ask Trump for help for these people, or what are you gonna do?" And he's like, "No, you should ask him because you know what's really going on," or something like this. And I'm like, "What in the world?" And then Gene Ho just interviewed Bob Joyce. Do you know who Bob Joyce is?
Refresh my memory.
So he's the little old pastor that lives in Arkansas in a 125 person church who sings exactly like Kenny Rogers. Or no, Elvis. Is he Elvis? Crap, now I'm just totally blanked. I think he's Elvis. I'm pretty sure he's Elvis.
Okay. Elvis.
Yes, I think he is Elvis. Um, I can't believe you guys haven't heard of Bob Joyce. Hold on. That's insane to me that you don't know who this is. I think they're getting ready to like bring everybody back. And then Trump also mentioned Fusca again he goes, and you were standing there, and he said, called him Homer for some reason.
That's weird. Wait,
And
isn't that like a weird like name or something for like secret shit? Homer?
I don't know.
I don't know. It strikes a chord for some reason.
I didn't know if it was a Simpson thing. If it was a
That
nod
too,
to
because they keep saying the
Simpsons.
Simpsons predict everything. You know what I mean?
I didn't know if it was a nod to the Simpsons because it was like something like, oh, this is his new album. Well, it doesn't
Yeah, it
seem.
said Homer Simpson.
Yeah, mom says. Well, she's right.
Yeah.
Bob Joyce. Okay. Well, I want you
Yeah,
to
it said,
see
but he's not
him.
Elvis unless Elvis got 20 years younger.
Come on, mom. There's med beds. I want you to see him moving around though. This is like his. Oh, darn it. Okay. Maybe if I do Gene Ho too. I don't know. There's just some real weird stuff lately, like some super weird stuff. Oh, here it is.
Well,
This is the one. This
why
is
does it's weird Trump keeps bringing up Fusca? Because we remember Fusca was the one everyone thought was JFK Jr.
yes. That's
Yeah.
why I thought it was so weird that he was pointing him out at the
Yeah.
video. And then he talked about, and he goes, and a very beautiful woman next to him.
Is that on any given Sunday, visitors from all over the world travel to this small 125-seat church in Benton, Arkansas. Name the country and household of faith probably has had a visitor from there. The first time I went to Household of Faith was on January 1st, 2023.
And this is called George Magazine Unveiling the Truth.
I wasn't looking for a church. I was looking for a story. It was my job as editor-in-chief to do my due diligence to check out what all the buzz was about. First of all, thank you so much. Well, yeah. All right. Word has it that your first church, I believe, was even in the back or near a Pizza Hut or something. Can you tell us a little bit about how big that church was and how that all started?
Yeah, it was.
So when he a little bit later
Actually,
here
the
in the
first place we
interview,
rented it was the middle rental space at the building. It's real small. You know,
I don't think he sings in
they
this.
call it a strip mall.
I'm telling you, it's like you have a lot of energy. I mean, did you have the same amount of energy in front of like 8-10 people that you do with a room filled here?
Well, the anointing's the anointing, whether it's a few people or a lot of people. You know, we call it energy, but it's really the Lord. It's the anointing of the Lord that matters. And, yeah, I would say the anointing was there.
Yeah,
always there. Always there.
Now we're in this place right here.
Say that man is not 90 years old.
Nah. Ah. Anyway, we'll see. But it's interesting because in his interview, he says, like, he asks him about like when he became saved or God or whatever. And then he said God told him he would sing in Japan. And so some people think that if he is Elvis, that he's talking about when his records got played all over the world. And the numbers that he uses kind of correlate with when he was being played all over the world, and whether that was through the radio or whatever, and then later the internet. And anyway, it's very interesting. If you haven't heard him sing, go listen to Bob Joyce sing, because it'll knock your socks off. It sounds just like Elvis.
Nice. Well, I'm gonna go listen to him sing after.
Yeah, it's hilarious. But I don't know what took me down on that whole rabbit hole. I know I had a point to all that, but dark Lisa late at night,
That's
packing,
all right.
moving my brain is a little fried.
I think it's just how there's everything's so weird right now going on.
It is so weird
Yeah.
right now.
And
The fact that people are expecting Trump and Elon to save the people from hurricanes and have no expectation of Biden or the military, or like no one's even really that mad that Joe's not really doing anything. Nobody cares.
because it's almost like I think everyone's accepted we don't have a president.
Right.
Or a recognized president. People say, which seems true. Trump seems like the president. Like it is kind of odd. Like he'll do these things, and then it's like it seems like the president.
Even the ceremony for the 10-7 or whatever. Why wasn't that Biden doing that ceremony with the Jewish people or whatever, with Israel?
Yeah.
And acknowledging that with them. Why would Trump be doing that ceremony? That seems kind of strange.
It's just, yeah. I mean, again, yeah, he really now more than ever, he seems like the president. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's not, I guess it's not, it seems like it to us, but I guess obviously it's not recognized to the world that Trump's the president. So maybe that's why people aren't like, because they don't expect anything out of Biden, I guess, right?
No, they don't. I mean, speaking of lame duck, I've heard of lame duck president or whatever, but like he's so lame that even his own vice president doesn't care. People aren't even listening to her. I guess DeSantis refused to call with her, as he should. I mean, he shouldn't be talking to her. He should be talking to emergency services. And if the president was able to do anything, he should be talking to him. But I'm glad he's talking to Elon and talking to whoever can actually help. But it's just incredible. And then it makes you think like, well, so if he's been incapacitated for these last 4 years, do we even need a president?
That's always what I said. Like, why do we really need a president? I always said everything should go to
The state.
vote. I mean, and then if you think about it, if it is a federal decision, I think everything should be in the state. But if it is a federal decision, the people should have the ultimate say. We should have some type of way to vote from our phone that's secure through some type of blockchain.
Mm-hmm.
And we, the people, make the decision, and it's something that can't be cheated. It's, you know what I mean? It's the block. That's the thing about the blockchain. It's a truth machine. So where like something like Bitcoin or something's not good for privacy, but for something like that, for verifying voting or things of that nature, it's really good because it's a truth telling machine. And impossible.
Yeah, and you have to have consequences for things that operate outside of that. Like it either happens on the blockchain so that it is truth, and then you ignore the rest. I think that's where like we've been in this society where we were told policies were laws for so long, and we all just went along with it instead of knowing what the truth is. Then you could learn to ignore anything. If it is not on the blockchain, it is not truth. And so you don't operate in that world. It has no power over you.
Yeah.
And that would
Yeah.
change a lot of things.
I think that would change a lot of things. It'd be a lot of, it would rid the bad for we the people. We could totally see what's going on, and it wouldn't be a fight about voter ID or this or that. It's just a secure, private way to vote from your phone on every decision. I feel like every decision, should we send money to Ukraine? Vote from your phone. It's deadlines Thursday at 10. You know what I mean?
Well,
And then,
and could you use Mimblewimble as the privacy layer? Like, so everybody had privacy on how they voted, but you knew everyone voted. You would know how many votes, right? Like everybody could throw their one Litecoin in, but then when it can't, and then whatever transaction happened, yes or no, right?
I mean, it would ultimately be through some type of like technology, like those ordinals or something like
Oh,
that. You
okay.
know what I mean? Like NF, you know what I mean? So it'd be more like that, because you'd be sending information on your vote.
Mm-hmm.
But it'll have to be like even in the future, think about a future where it's like a second layer. Say it even is like lightning or something like that, right? And it all does feed down to the Bitcoin base layer. That's the most secure blockchain in the world, right? Maybe if you think about it, maybe for future voting, that's why Bitcoin was created in the first place, just to make voting secure in the future. You know what I mean? Or
That'd be
things
awesome if
secure,
it had like no
documents
market
secure.
value, but it only had value for like use case.
I think I could see a situation where the base layer has all that value, and then the use case is the second layers that
Mm.
feed into it. And then if it's things like you wouldn't even care about patents, say it's something for voting, and then there's like whatever the case is, whoever has to get paid on the patent. There's voting machines now, all this time, effort, poll workers, all this stuff to pay a small fee on the person that has the patent that moves that around, that second layer around, is nothing. Your cost is still 99% less than it is
Right.
now.
Right.
It's a dream. So I don't even think that's not even a situation. I don't know. This is just speculation, but it's interesting stuff. Or another blockchain. I'm not saying Bitcoin. I'm just saying thinking Bitcoin because it's the most secure. And in a future world of countries, maybe, warfare or whatever, they couldn't attack your voting system and hack it and take it down, because it needed to be something that's so secure.
Yeah, I really didn't think we'd get this far. I thought we would rise up or have a solution. The military would get involved. Something would happen before now. Because I do not know how we can walk into a voting booth on November 5th of 2024 when we all know what happened in 2020. Like,
Yes.
what's the point of even going in there
Right.
at this point? Unless we fix 2020, what is the point in participating in 2024?
Yeah.
I
It
don't
makes,
understand it.
I don't either. So I don't know. You're right, Lisa. I would have thought there would have been a solution by now, but they're very good at distracting us. Even crypto. Think back to 2017, all the ICOs, and it was like all
Mhm.
this different stuff coming out. And it was like, wow, Bitcoin and Ethereum, these ICOs, is a way to fight back. You know what I mean? And you don't need to do an IPO anymore. You can sell your coin, the ERC20 tokens, or there was so much. That was our time to get ahead. And then
Then they all want to be banks and govern me harder, daddy. Yeah.
the infighting happened, Bitcoin maximalists and this and that. And it was, this blockchain sucks, that blockchain sucks. And it's like I always said, we want to beat the bad guys. We need all hands on deck.
Mm.
We need Litecoin as secure money. We need Bitcoin. Hell, we need Digibyte in a situation like that. We would need other coins, all hands on deck, all help we could get of scalable solutions that are controlled by the people, not the bad guys. And that's the key with I guess this thing that I'm speculating on, this future voting system, maybe through a Lightning network, right? Now people say Lightning sucks, Lightning sucks, Lightning sucks. It does right now. It sucks. It doesn't work great right now for money. But maybe for a different application, it would work because at least it does feed down to the Bitcoin base layer. And at least there's, you know what I mean? So there's a way to audit everything. It has to match up. It's a decentralized settlement system.
That's what we're hoping for. The decentralized settlement system will set us free, I hope.
Let's hope.
I hope.
Yeah,
Until then, I'll be dark, Lisa. I'm in the darkness. I'm in the dark
maybe
space.
we got too much hopium. I don't know, but I would have thought there would, like we said, 2017, we started fighting, and then COVID came, and then 2021 the markets pumped up, but it was all distractions. Think about it, these meme coins, all this stuff. It was a way to distract us. Then we had FTX, Celsius, Voyager, these BlockFi, all these platforms going down. And it was a way to be like, crypto, that's a scam, or that's this. So it's a way to ruin the trust of the populace. That's kind of where we're at now. Like even a few days ago, me and Greg were walking somewhere, and somebody said to Greg, "How's Bitcoin treating you?" or something, and like laughed at him. And Greg was, "Well, we were telling you to buy Bitcoin at like $5,000, $6,000. Like,
yeah, it's fine. Yeah.
It's doing fine.
Yeah, it's all perspective. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, hang in there in the fight. And I do think it's great to, think about in an emergency situation, being diversified, and having, even down to paper. We're talking about cash or, cryptos, gold, silver, cash, but even down to having the knowledge and then the way to back it up, some kind of paper or something. So that when you're bartering, you can be able to back up your facts. So
yeah,
that's going to be the best thing there, and community to be able to barter with.
But definitely have a little cash. I think we saw that play out, and we always say, get rid of your fiat, get rid of your fiat, get rid of your fiat. But some paper cash is good to have on hand in an emergency, and is a private way to transact with no internet required, and it's recognizable.
For a little while.
For a little
while. Not financial advice. Just we're dark Lisa checking in on all. All right. Well, we'll see you guys next time. Thanks for joining me, Johnny.
Thanks for
great
having me on,
to see you
Lisa.
again. And thanks to everybody in the chat for joining us.
Good to see you guys.
Yeah.
Later.
Yeah.